what is it like to be here today and just to be a part of this event?
I think it's really great, particularly with the nice weather. You're getting everybody together. You know, it's really hobnobbing. You know, you can see it's hard to get people to come into the tent. That's why I suggest maybe we ought to feed breakfast and get everybody in there. And while you got them captured, then the candidates can speak to them. You know, but you can tell people really enjoy it. It's great. It's a great event. MEC looks forward to putting it on each year. Like I said, this was the 10th annual Hobnob, Mississippi, and of course it'll be an annual event. We plan on carrying it on, keeping it going.
And then just tell me about your involvement with MEC and just what the year's been like for them. What's next year going to look like?
Well, of course, this year, of course, I became chairman in April when our year started. But this year we've been doing the survey to come up with the blueprint 2011. You know, we had the blueprint 2004, and this is just updating the blueprint. And it's a real intensive study, you know, throughout the state, surveys, the universities always involved, and we come up with what we think is a plan, a blueprint for Mississippi going forward, and we will be presenting, you know, certainly in January to the legislature and everybody, and thinking it could be of help to the next governor, lieutenant governor, and legislature.
Great. And just how important is MEC to a state like Mississippi?
I think it's really important. It's really the State Chamber of Commerce, and of course Blake Wilson and his staff do a tremendous job. You know, I told Blake when they were wanting me to take this job, I said, Blake, I'll stay as long as you stay. I said, if you leave, I'm leaving. But I think it's really important. It tries to be impartial. You know, whichever governor's elected, or whichever we'll work with whatever the administration is. It's kind of impartial. There is, you know, Republican, Democrat, Independent. We try to work with whatever our elected officials are. So we'll work with any of them.
Blake Wilson and I go way back. When he first came to town as the director of MEC, he came down to the restaurant and wanted me to, shall we say, work with him on making MEC what it has become today. And Blake will tell you the story straight up. He didn't have any money. All he had was his good name and faith and credit on MEC. He says, I don't know how I'm going to pay you, but I will. And I said, that's fine with me. We'll work together. After Roger Davis needed to withdraw from the race, I was asked to consider running and did. Submitted my name. The Republican Party of Hinds County selected me as a new candidate. And so for the last 7 weeks I've been running as the candidate for Hinds County Supervisor District 1 and running a hard race and trying to get our message out and trying to convince voters that this really is a race not about party. It's really a race about who can best manage the money for Hinds County. Someone with a business degree and business background like myself that's made payroll in hard times and in good times. Someone that knows how to balance a budget and keep their business going for the 33 years that we did at Dennery's through the recessions of the 80s and the wonderful times of the 90s. And I want to bring that talent and skill to the Board of Supervisors so that we won't have to ask our employees to take furlough days off in order to balance our budget.
Is it a little different this year, kind of using this event for your campaign versus just kind of just being here and networking?
You know, it's all about your friends and people that you haven't met yet that become friends. And I've been blessed with a number of people that I've met through the years at the restaurant and maintained friendships with, and people are very supportive of my race because they know me personally, they know my business skills, and they believe that I can use those skills to benefit Hinds County. And yeah, it is a little different, but it's fun.
This thing started just a few years ago, really 10 years ago, and it's grown. You know, I think they have over 1,000 people here. And it is a wonderful forum for me to go through and talk to people. How are you doing? How's business? What do you need from the state of Mississippi to make you prosper and hire people? And I get so much knowledge from this. It's a tremendous venue. MEC does a great job in getting the voice of people that are hiring people out to people like us who are trying to make sure that government works for them.
I've got the 3 initiatives coming up. Can you tell us how you're going to vote on them?
On all 3 of the initiatives? No, I never do that. I'm supposed to be Secretary of State, but I did sign them all, so we'll see.
Better weather this time of year. Wasn't as cold?
Yeah, it wasn't as cold. We lucked out. It was a beautiful day, and I'm so glad that we had so many people show up. The governor did a great job. Jim Barksdale did a great job. Really a very, very good presentation today.
What just specifically anything about the speeches that resonated with you?
I think hearing the candidates respond on education was very, very positive. I mean, we heard that across the board, Democrats and Republicans alike, and that's very, very important. We've got to focus on that in Mississippi. If we do that, we're going to make sure we have an assured workforce so we can continue to get projects like Toyota, PACCAR, and others if we continue to focus on education.
You've got economic development, but you need education as well. Can you kind of explain that?
Yeah, I mean,
Mr.
a
Barksdale.
qualified workforce where it's at today, and we've moved from a low-skill, low-wage economy to a middle-skill economy. And the more middle-skill jobs we create, and that means at least high school and some college, if we build out that, we'll get more higher-skill jobs, because when you have a strong middle-skill economy, you need the higher-skill folks, the engineers and those kind of folks, to keep that engine going. So it builds the entire economy up.